The island of Taiwan is only 245 miles from top to bottom, but the local food and flavors have a far greater reach. When Sydney and I made our first visit to Taiwan, we didn't really know what to expect with the food scene, but it absolutely blew us away. And that's saying a lot because it was coming on the heels of places like Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand, which I think has some of the best food in the world. Taiwanese food is right up there with any of the best cuisines in the world. In this video, I'm gonna go through the top 5 foods that I think you have to try if you're in Taiwan. Now this is just our personal list, and obviously there's gonna be a lot that I'm missing here, but I was trying to think of the things that really have global reach and things that have kind of taken off in other parts of the world, which is really impressive, again, when you consider the size of Taiwan and the global reach that some of these foods have. Okay, number 1 on the list, not exactly a food, but definitely one of the most famous exports of Taiwan. That would be the global phenomenon known as bubble tea. Although in Taiwan, it's referred to as zhenju naicha. These days, you can find bubble tea shops all over the world, all over the US, Europe, Australia, Canada, you name it. But the thing is, it's usually pretty different than the one that you'll find in Taiwan, the original one. It was created in the 1980s in a cafe in the city of Taichung, and Sydney and I actually got the opportunity to go to that original cafe where it was invented. But if you're thinking of those really bright colored fruit teas with those little popping balls that are full of sugar, that is actually not really the same thing as a traditional Taiwanese zhenju naicha. But you can still find those really sweet fruit teas everywhere in Taiwan as well. The original one is actually a milk tea. It's a very thick milk tea with just a beautiful brown sugar flavor. And a lot of that brown sugar flavor comes from the black tapioca pearls that are at the bottom of the glass. And it looks so cool when you have a clear glass and you can see all of those tapioca pearls at the bottom. And these pearls actually aren't the popping ones that you think of in a lot of the bubble tea shops in the US. It's more of a chewy texture, kind of like a gummy bear or a jelly. Bubble tea is so much fun, just like the combination of the chewing and sipping. It's a very unique way to have a tea. My favorite bubble tea that I had in Taiwan was in the Ximen district, and it was at a place called Xingfu Tong. It's actually a very famous place, and you can also pick up another item on this list right at the same spot. There's always a really long line, but it's kind of deceiving. When you get up there, it moves pretty fast, so don't let the long line deter you. This is now our 3rd time trying the tea. Every time the line is very long, but it's honestly very deceiving. It goes fast. 3, 2, 1. I've been told it's very important to stir it. I think a couple of times we just didn't stir it. I don't know if it was at this place or another boba place, but then you just get like pockets of very sweet and then the rest is kind of bland, so stir it. I think they said like 18 times the number. I've already lost track. So good. So much better than any other one we've had. You can see the tapioca pearls being made right there, and they just pour them right in. And it's got this beautiful caramelized brown sugar flavor to it. It is just awesome. Can't recommend it enough. Also, I just can't help myself. A really fun fact about bubble tea. You'll sometimes hear it referred to as boba tea. And yes, that is the same thing. But boba is a slang word in Mandarin that roughly translates to large breasts. So it's kind of like a cheeky, funny thing about the pearls and the bouncy nature of them. It's kind of like calling it booby tea, which I think is just hilarious. From what I understand, it's not an offensive term. It's not like a vulgar term at all. It's just really, really funny that that's what boba tea actually means. And you hear people say boba tea all the time in the US, having no idea what that actually means. Okay, moving on to number 2 on the list. As long as we're hanging out in the Ximen district and as long as we're waiting in line, putting the time in to get our bubble tea at Xingfu Tong, you might as well try their other delicacy known as yen su gi. But kind of the playful English term for this is Taiwanese popcorn chicken. It's just these little pieces of fried chicken and they are so good. The chicken inside, it's perfectly fried and it's a really nice quality juicy chicken. There's strong flavors of soy and garlic, and it's just so flavorful. There's also this kind of dusting or coating on the outside, and we learned that's actually sweet potato flour. I don't know if that's just so it doesn't stick in the pan or if it has some kind of function in that way, but it's kind of a cool texture while you're eating it too. Now this is the first time we've gotten the combo. You can get the combo of the tea and the chicken. This is the famous Taiwanese style popcorn chicken. I think it's got like a plum seasoning on it, and then it's supposed to be spicy too. Oh yeah. That was really nice. Great chicken. Very tender. So yeah, the famous Shifu Tong right in the Ximen district. You can knock those two things out right away, and if you're taking the time to wait in line, it doesn't take that long like I said, but you might as well try that along with your bubble tea. It's kind of an interesting combination, bubble tea and fried chicken, but it works, I promise you. Moving right along to number 3 on the list, one of our favorite things about Taiwan. It was our breakfast almost every single morning because there was a little place right around the corner from our Airbnb. We just could not get enough of the Taiwanese scallion pancake, or as it's known in Mandarin, the song yo bing.
We came here for breakfast earlier today, and he's still cooking. We had to come back because it's that good.
This is truly a crowning jewel of the Taiwanese food scene, and you'll find them all over the major cities in Taiwan. They're at the night markets, the street markets, places like that. They're made on a griddle, and they just become so crispy. It's actually a layered dough that they use, and the green onions or the scallions are already inside that dough, and you can see them, it becomes so flaky when they're putting it on the griddle right in front of you. You can eat it plain, there's enough flavor just by itself, but it's usually good to get something on top of it, whether that's eggs, you can sometimes even get beef or chicken, you can get a really spicy chili powder on top, soy sauce. There's so many things that go well with it. The place that we love to go to would always serve it with like a hoisin sauce, kind of a more sweet sauce on the side. It was so good. We missed this more than almost anything else we tried on our travels. Song Yo Bing is one of the best ways to start your day. And whether you have it as a snack in the middle of the day, or if you're at a night market after a few beers, it definitely goes well with that. Or if it's right away in the morning as breakfast, it works any way you have it. It is so good, and Sydney and I miss it dearly. Okay, number 4 on the list, not a specific food item, but an entire dining experience. And actually, I would say another thing that has caught on all over the world at this point, a global sensation known as hot pot. Or as it's known in Mandarin, I'm really trying on this one, huao guao. Sydney and I didn't have our first hot pot experience until the very end of our time in Taiwan, and the only reason why is because we were very nervous. It was something we had never tried before, not even in the US, and there's a lot that goes into the hot pot experience. So basically, you're cooking your own food, you're cooking your own meal right in front of you in this delicious hot pot of soup. The soup itself can be a few different things. I had a spicy variation and it was so good. Not actually as spicy as you would think, just a really nice tingle on the tongue. And you're probably wondering by now what actually goes into the hot pot? Well, just about anything. Vegetables, taro balls, beef, pork, seafood, noodles, even Chinese donuts. There is so much that's going on and it's all happening at once. And I think that's why it was so nerve-wracking, is because you really have to be attentive to what you're putting in your hot pot and how long it's been in there. And with the meat, you can't undercook it, especially the seafood. You have to make sure that you know exactly how long that needs to be in there. A little update here, I think the pacing has definitely been the biggest struggle because we thought this was all of the meat that we had, and then this entire plate of beef comes too. So we have so much meat right now. And here we were, Americans in Taiwan that don't speak Mandarin, and we were just really afraid that we were gonna undercook our meat. But obviously we made it through, we survived, and it was so much fun. It's definitely easier if you go to a place where they speak a little English and they can kind of try to explain things to you, explain how long certain things need to cook for. But once you get past the challenges of it, it really is just a fun experience. It's very communal. It's something that's very fun to do with friends. We went with 2 of our friends from Australia who were traveling through Taiwan with us and had so much fun, great memories. And I love that our first hot pot was actually in Taiwan because it felt more authentic that way and definitely more challenging, but also because of that, so rewarding. And I feel like I'm burying the lead here. The flavors of the food, it is so good. Whatever soup you decide to try, just anything you put in there, it cooks so thoroughly in that broth, and you're having this beautiful steam pluming into your face the whole dining experience. So you're having all of the aromas and everything happening. It really is a unique and special experience, and we can't recommend it enough, especially if you're in Taiwan. It is something you'll never forget. A little tip for huao guao that we learned the hard way is if you're going, you should probably go on as empty of a stomach as possible. You get so much food, it is honestly insane. It's a feast. So definitely go, don't have a big lunch, don't have a big breakfast or anything like that. Go hungry, because it'll be a better experience, and you're gonna need that room in your stomach because it is just, the food just keeps coming in waves and waves. Number 5, last but not least of the list of things you gotta try in Taiwan. This is at all of the night markets, all of the street food markets, a sensation known as Tanghulu. And you can actually find this all over Asia, it's not just Taiwan, but we noticed it everywhere in Taiwan because it's become very popular. It's a very Instagrammable food, it just looks great, it looks awesome. It's a very simple concept, it's just fruit on a stick. But the special aspect of this fruit on a stick is that it is dipped in a syrup that hardens on the outside. So it creates a sugar glaze on the outside of the fruit. And when it's stacked on top of each other on that stick, it just looks so cool. Tanghulu can be several different types of fruit. I think we saw strawberries probably the most, but you can also find grapes and even cherry tomatoes. Now, I'm not a huge fan of cherry tomatoes to begin with, and it just didn't sound as good as the grapes and particularly the strawberries. So I always went with the strawberries. The grapes and the cherry tomatoes usually came together because again, it just Instagrammable, right? It looks very cool. It's the green and the red kind of alternating down the stick. But it is so good. It's such a satisfying thing to bite into. That sugar crunch on the outside paired with the natural sweetness of the fruit, it is just incredible. Another aspect of all of the 5 foods that I mentioned, actually with the exception of the hot pot, now that I think of it, but most of these foods are very affordable. Hot pot can definitely be on the pricier side, but everything else, you can find it in street markets and night markets, and very affordable, easy to eat on the go. And if you so desire, you can definitely order more than one. And before I forget, I do want to add 2 quick honorable mentions. One of them would be the Taiwanese beef noodle soup known as Nyo Ro Mien. I think that was right, but correct me if I'm wrong. This is actually the national dish of Taiwan, and we only tried it one time. I'm not even really sure why we didn't try it more than the one time. And of course, the one time we tried it, it was at the end of the day, we were tired, we didn't film anything. So that's the only reason I didn't include it in my 5 foods, but it really should be in there. If you're visiting Taiwan, it's probably something that you should try, the national dish of the country you're visiting. It's a really nice, hearty noodle soup. The beef flavor just permeates throughout the broth. It's a nice, thinly sliced beef. Very, very good stuff. And we're gonna try it more than once next time we go to Taiwan. And then the second honorable mention would be the soup dumplings known as xiao long bao. It's one of our favorite foods in the world, honestly. It is just so good. We love everything about it. The chewy outside, the soup that's in the middle, the fun way that you have to eat it. You kind of have to chew off a corner of the outside to make sure that it doesn't explode with soup in your face, which actually, fun fact, has happened to me before. The only reason it wasn't off the top of my head in that top 5, I don't know if it's originally a Taiwanese food, but it actually has been associated with Taiwan a lot because of the famous place known as Din Tai Fung. You've probably heard of it if you've been to like a major city. You can find them in New York, you can find it in Singapore, you can find it all over the place. Din Tai Fung is an international chain at this point, but that place did start in Taiwan. But yeah, xiao long bao, it speaks for itself. One of our favorite things to order if it's on the menu. If it's on the menu, we're gonna order it. It is just one of our favorite things in the world. I love either the soy sauce or the vinegar. I'm actually a bigger fan of the vinegar. My favorite thing to do is after you chew off that little corner and you suck out some of the soup that's inside, if it's in the little spoon, you can put some vinegar in it and then just eat it. Oh my God. That vinegar flavor goes so well with that filling inside. Oh, I wish I had some xiao long bao right now. But that wraps up our list of 5 foods you have to try if you're visiting Taiwan, plus 2 of course. Let us know in the comment section, what are some other foods from Taiwan that we missed out on? This is definitely a place that we're interested in traveling to again, not just because of the food, but all of the amazing architecture and the natural landscapes that you see. There really is so much to see, so much to do, and so much to eat on that little island. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you found it helpful, a like and a subscribe go a long way for our growth on YouTube, and we hope to see you in the next video.